everybody, back pain is one of the most detrimental things that any golfer can have and have to deal with. If you have it, you're not allowed to play, and if you're not allowed to play, you're not going to have fun, you're not going to enjoy yourself, and it's just a plethora of bad things that'll happen. So today I'm going to give you 3 things that are going to help you not only hit the ball better, but going to save your back from a lot of pain and agony, and you're going to be able to play this great game a lot longer. Now, the first one is allow your hips to go ahead and turn in your swing. So many people that come to our lessons or half-day golf schools or multi-day golf schools, whether it's some friend of theirs tried to help them and told them to do this, or the spouse or whoever it was, but a lot of people will try to keep their lower body, meaning from their waist down to their feet, very stationary, which means they're going to have to get all of their turn and their rotation from their mid-spine, their thoracic spine, and their shoulders, which is very, very difficult to happen. If you're over the age of about 25, that's going to be even more difficult as we lose range of motion as we get older. So if you allow your hips to turn in your swing, if I were to put this rod here at my hips and this other one here at my shoulders, you can see as I turn my hips, I'm not even going to turn my shoulders. If I've turned my hips about 30 to 45 degrees, my shoulders have turned with it. Now it's just a little more turn with the shoulders, and you already made it to the top of your backswing. So adding turn to your hips will take a lot of pressure off your spine in general and make your swing much more efficient as it allows you to make that complete turn. The second one is, how do the hips work in the swing? Now, a lot of people will try to maintain the levelness of their hips in the swing, meaning even if they turn them, they try to keep this line across my hips parallel to the ground. But because your spine is in a tilted position, meaning this way as you set up, your pelvis and your hips will be in somewhat of a tilted position as well. And as you make your turn and keep your head somewhat stationary in your swing, it is much easier if the hips and the shoulders on the trail side move up and behind you. Okay, so you'll notice if I put this through my belt loops here, okay, so as I make my backswing, you'll notice that there's an angle to this orange rod as my rear hip went up and back, okay? And then as you make your downswing, your hips will come back to level, and then coming into impact, your left hip will go up and behind you as the right one comes down. So your hips work this way and not so much level. If you get into too much level, you have a very high potential to get into too much friction as your vertebrae are shifting laterally over your discs are shifting laterally over your vertebrae. And if you do that too often and too much, you have a high potential to get a tear in there. Now, the third one is allowing the trail leg, in my instance, or in my case, the right leg, to go ahead and straighten out some in the backswings. And this correlates to what item number 2, which is allow the right hip or trail hip to go up. So in your swing, if you make your backswing and the trail hip's going up, the right leg will extend, and okay, and you can come in your downswing and so forth. Now here's what happens if you try to keep that right leg bent too much. If I go ahead and make that backswing and that right leg stays bent, it's harder for my hips to make their turn, and I don't get enough depth in my swing. So I'm forced to either force my arms behind me, or I'm forced to move laterally off the ball to get more width in my swing and try to get my shoulders turned. So both of those are going to require a heck of a lot more timing. So let me just illustrate this as well. As I allow that right leg to extend, I got enough depth in my swing. My swing does not get longer, but it's fuller. Okay, now if I were to move that trail leg back to bent, you'll notice that I don't have the depth or turn in my swing anymore. And again, if you don't have enough depth or turning your swing, your ball striking is going to suffer. So those are 3 things that you can practice. Again, allow your hips to turn in your swing, allow your hips to work up and down in the swing, and the third is let that right or trail leg extend a little bit, and don't try to keep it so flexed throughout your swing. And I am almost certain your ball striking is going to improve, but I'm 100% certain that a lot of your back issues will start to go away. Hey everybody, Pete here from the Golf Paradigm. Thanks for watching the video. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you want to watch more videos or subscribe, you can do it right here.